so I was really enjoyed going with Narita because she was short enough I could dance with her. I didn't have to look up at him like I did all the rest of them. But so after that first date, then we in high school there we had a school dance just about every weekend because we had the Valley-on Hotel there, and they had a dance just about every weekend. And then in Christmas and New Year's we had two. One on Christmas Eve and one on Christmas night, one on New Year's Eve, one on New Year's night. But there wasn't anything else to do in that small town. So anyway, we went on a date, and then all of us, every time we went on a date, we could only get one car. And there was George Merritt and Leif Walker and Val Call and I, and we could get usually one car out of the four of us to take. Val couldn't because his dad didn't let him have any driving, but until he got to be a junior, then he gave him a brand new '54 Chevy. But anyway, we would always go 8 in a car, 4 girls and 4 boys, and we had so anyway. I must have dated her 4 or 5 times, and I didn't, I never kissed a girl, so I didn't know what to do, and so anyway, we were coming home from a dance at Alpine, and I went with Ross and Josie. Josie Kaufman was Narita's very best friend, and she lived in Thane there, and so Ross Jenkins was dating her, and so Ross asked me if I wanted to go on a date with him. I said sure, because Ross had his dad's car anytime he wanted, and but he was a year older than I was. So anyway, we were coming down from Afton and going through the Narrows where the hotel was there, the cabins were there in that, and Narita says, "You can kiss me if you like." Oh well, yeah, of course I liked. so I kissed her, and I put my fingers underneath her thing. I don't know why, just to hold her there. I didn't know, but she moved that out during the kiss. So, like I said, I didn't know what to do, but I learned fast. But it was very enjoyable because we had, we'd gone many times down all after the dance. We'd gone all the way down to Etna to take Liberta and then Narita, and then George, he would take Pat Skinner, but she would never go down to Thane with us, and because she really didn't like George, but he invited her to go to the dance, so she went. And so anyway, after a while, we would drive down and take Pat home. She lived in Grover, just out of Grover, and so we'd take her, and he would take her home, and then he would drive, and whoever's car we had, he would drive, because we still had a girl, and so and then
chauffeur, huh?
J.R. Hoganson, he was parked with his car on the side of the road about half a mile down from Pat's house. And we knew what was going on. We did. George didn't. We didn't tell him. Because when we would leave, he would turn around and go back and pick up Pat and go neck. But so anyway, so then we would go all the way down to Wolfley's down at Etna, and we would stop there, and pretty soon then she would go in, and then we'd stop up, and Narita would go in, and we didn't spend too much time out in the parking lot at her house, because every once in a while here, the porch light would go on, the porch light would go off, the porch light would go on. That means Mom Slater wanted us in there instead of out in the car. So, but in the wintertime, it was cold because on the porch there was a thermometer that says minus 35 degrees. We didn't spend too much time on the porch in the wintertime, but so anyway, we dated quite a while before we really decided that we would go steady. We completed that summer or that school year when she was a sophomore and I was a junior, and then that next summer was the only time I had ever had a date alone with her, and I took her to the fireman's ball, they called it, because the firemen's they sponsored a movie at the movie house to get money for their uniforms or whatever, and they would get donations from all of the hotel stores, and then they would you had a ticket and had a number on it as you went into the movie, and then they would draw out of the hats. And the one time that I won, the only time I won a wallet. It was like a lady's wallet.
Oh.
And so I gave it to Nerita. But I'll tell you later what happened throughout the years.